All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, and some motion. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes. We know what's happening in the league. All sports, all plays, ASAP. Cause we know what's going down with your team. We'll bring you up to speed ASAP. Not talking about Rihanna's baby daddy, it's the network covering every play that's happening in the ring, on the field, on the courts, on the lane. We gon' cover the game, all sports, all play. All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, and some motion. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes.
What is going on, everyone? This is the #1 combat sports show in the game. I'm your co-host, Josh. I got my boy James over here. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm good. You know, trying to get everything set up. All these support links, cross posts, all this other stuff we got going on in the background.
That sounds like a bunch of stuff I'm not tech savvy in.
Oh man. Oh, good man, good. Excited, getting closer to 299 and 300. I'm telling you, those ones are gonna be big, man.
Dude, for real. We got like Sean O'Malley coming up. Henry Cejudo's gonna be fighting here soon. Like, we got a lot of people in Arizona gonna be competing.
Yeah, definitely, man. So definitely getting excited about that. And we are dead in the middle of Super Bowl week. So this Sunday, we got Super Bowl coming up. No, is it this Sunday or next week? Might be next week. But we got a Super Bowl coming up. The Niners and the Chiefs. Who you got?
I'm a humorously float on the conspiracy. I'm gonna say Kansas City because it's rigged. It's because of Taylor Swift.
It's because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's rigged. It's conspiracy, man.
Hey, I couldn't put it past it, man, with everything that's been going on. But should be some fun stuff. You know, look out for my Cardinals next year. We coming back full force. So just get ready. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah,
But right. But other than that, man, we only a week or two away from PFA.
Yeah, we got PFA that's gonna be on February 24th, and then right after that we got March. We got Rob, we got Vince Zaifeth. He's gonna be having an event with SA Alliance, so there's a lot of bangers coming up.
Yeah, no, it should be good, man. It should be good. A lot of stuff going up.
Yeah.
But today we got a very special guest.
That's right. And hey, let me tell you something. This guy is an animal inside the cage. Seeing red, he's in a rage. Better empty the gas tank or he's gonna rattle the brain. There's no escaping hell's domain. You ain't prepared for what's coming. Violence is bruising, ruin. Best punch the throttle. I'll take out your knees and leave you with a waddle. He'll put you on the floor, your body still. Got you looking like a piece of roadkill. I hope you're fight ready to talk your shit, because you have to get flipped. But you $5 fist. Oh shit, he's got a phone to fix. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, you ought to know that he's the one and only Jace Jones. What's going on, my man?
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, Jace?
Doing good. I like the intro. You sound like my coach every day I walk into the gym. He's always rapping, always got something to say.
Yeah, man. No. So, how you been?
Doing good. Just staying ready, staying healthy, and just ready to get back in the cage. Honestly, it's been too long. It's been way too long.
Yeah, especially after that dominant finish you got in the first round back against, I think it was against Alex Gardner. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. No, it's been. I took absolutely no damage from that, and I tried to get another fight right away within the next month, but I chipped a tooth back here and just had a couple little setbacks that I was like, you know what, it's probably not worth it. Might as well just stay as healthy as possible and get another MMA fight.
Hmm.
Yeah, that health is so important, especially like you were talking about earlier. This young in your career, trying to get through those, and those flawless victories are always good, especially early on in the career. Get out of there unscathed. Always good to add to the list.
No, 100%. Yeah, I'm still 18, so I got a long career ahead of me.
Man, you're only
Um,
18.
yeah, I'm still 18. I'll be 19 the 22nd of this month. But
Dang.
yeah, so I was just trying to, preserve my body a little bit the best I can. I love to
Hmm.
fight, but I won't be doing it for too long if I stay injured. So
Yeah, and it's a
Definitely.
great time for you to step into it too, because since you're early enough, you still have enough of that youth to be able to compensate for like any injuries that do occur,
yeah,
for you
100%.
to be able to get to learn how to be able to cope with that
Yeah,
quickly.
exactly.
Right, right. Kind of get to start off on a clean slate.
Mhm.
Did you play any other sports in like high school and stuff coming up?
I've played every single sport. I've played football in high school. I played soccer growing up, basketball, baseball. But mainly I grew up racing cars. So I grew up my grandfather's Parnelli Jones. He's a 1963 Indy 500 winner. So then his son, my father, he raced too. He raced NASCAR, sports car, Baja, like anything you name it. So then growing up, obviously me and my brother raced for a while. I started off in go-karts and then eventually was racing a lower level NASCAR series. So um,
So that competition just runs in your blood.
yeah, exactly. I was always competing. But yeah, now here we are fighting.
Nice. So how did you first get started in MMA?
So I believe my sophomore year, I was dating this girl, and her dad trained a little bit, and he was friends with a bunch of MMA fighters. So literally, like the first day I went over to her house, like on the couch was Henry Cejudo and Bruno Silva and just a bunch of other MMA fighters, and just being around that environment, got me started into it. So
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope,
mhm.
especially too for you to kind of get around that at a young age.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
got to kind of dip your feet in it, and now you really just fell in love with it.
Yeah. No,
Right.
yeah. I haven't looked back since the day I started training. So
I see that picture you put on Instagram where you got cut up. I think it was right on your nose, and you just had
yeah,
a
yeah,
smile. You're like, "Hey, I love
yeah.
MMA."
Yeah, no, it's definitely my kind of sport for sure.
Yeah.
So how did that transition go in the household? I mean, going from the racetracks to the octagon. I mean, how did they receive that?
So, we had some family issues that was a pretty big setback that lasted, a couple years of just battling. And with that, we just kind of lost we lost a big part of what we needed to race. And once that all fell through, that was I believe my freshman years when I stopped racing and going from being 6 years old up until 14 years old racing every weekend, and then just like that I got it taken from me. And after that I just kind of went downhill a little bit, and then I found fighting, luckily. And ever since then I've never looked back, and it's just put me in like the best place I've ever been. So
Okay. Now, did you wrestle in high school too? You said.
yeah, I wrestled my sophomore year, or I wrestled my junior year, and then my senior year. I think it was right before the first match. I hurt my back. I fell off a
Oh,
balcony. So yeah, I fell off a balcony and hurt my back, and that put me out. I wasn't doing anything for like 3 months. So
yeah. So you fell off a balcony. I need a little bit of more background on that. How the heck did you fall off a balcony right
um,
before the match?
it wasn't. I was just out one night, just being stupid, and
I knew there had to be a story behind
yeah,
it.
that's about all I'm gonna say about that night. But I was just being dumb, and made a bad decision that I learned from. And I'm definitely not putting myself in that kind of position again.
Hey, we live and learn, especially
Yeah,
during our party
exactly.
days. You
Yeah.
know. So, as far as the racing concerned, so I want to go back into that a little bit. So, what was your favorite kind of car or situation as far as racing is concerned? You like the NASCARs? You like the box cars?
So I pretty much raced on road my whole life. I mean,
Okay.
that's like where the money and the career's at in it. But I would do one-off races and off-road, like down in Baja and Mexico and stuff like that. And that was
Hmm.
by far my favorite for fun. But like, you don't make any money. You don't really. There's no career path in off-road racing. But I mean, it
Okay.
was the most fun because you're getting sideways and you're going 100 miles an hour in between tight trees and stuff like that, and it's just a little more exciting. But
Yeah.
yeah. Other than
And
that, I'd say the NASCAR stuff was definitely my favorite. It's pretty fun.
do you
So
have like any particular memories that really like that you really stick by when you're racing?
um no, not particularly. Um
Okay.
like, you mean just like memories from racing, or
Yeah, like
I kind of
was
kind
there
of cut out.
like any specific like or crazy thing that happened when you were racing one
Oh
time?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we could sit here all day and talk about wild stuff that's happened. I've been stuck out in the middle of the Baja Desert at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I've hit the wall going over 100 miles an hour. It's
Oh,
crazy.
Ooh,
Racing every single weekend, you just open yourself up to a lot of
crazy stuff.
situations. So
man, that is crazy. I can only imagine you colliding a wall going 100 miles an hour.
yeah, actually, just this past weekend. I mean, it's not the same, but I was just out playing and driving one of the cars we used to race down in Baja, and I broke a part and I left my spare part in the truck that was 15 miles from the car. So I had to run over and climb over mountains and stuff, and ran 15 miles to go to get the spare part.
Oh,
So
that's brutal, man.
yeah, there's a lot of just stuff like that that's happened. And
Oh yeah, no. See, 15 miles. We might had to left the car there and came back with a tow truck.
Hey, it's
no,
good
it wasn't too
cardio.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we made it. We got it done though, no issues. So
Nice. Nice. And
Nice.
so I know with racing, you have to focus a lot on, situational awareness, ability to react in your reaction times. Do
mhm.
you see like any of those things that you take from racing translate actually into you fighting in
Yeah,
reaction times?
100%. 100%. And not so much just like that, physical reaction and all that too, but just surrounding yourself with competition, and just having that fire to win and show up every weekend. It kind of translates more. And also like just being able to learn. Like, I was just learning new stuff racing wise growing up, and now I can take that and put that into learning fighting. So I'd say
Yeah.
those are the biggest pluses.
Nice.
I mean, how with you driving at 100 miles per hour and everything's being such a split second decision being on the track,
Mhm.
does that kind of also kind of help you out with it being, because fighting is a little bit chaotic in there. It's moving
Yeah.
quick. There's a lot of stuff moving and going on at
Mhm.
once, and it gives you that same kind of situational awareness, which you have to be able to make that decision in such a split second.
Yeah, I'm sure that's there a lot more than I even notice. Um, yeah, just growing up, having to make, you know, quick decisions, um, definitely plays a role into it.
Yeah. So at around like what age really were you kind of that they kind of clicked and you knew this is kind of the path you wanted to take?
Oh, I believe I started training like right when I turned 16,
Hmm.
and literally since my first move I ever did was an armbar, and
Nice.
Dang, nice.
ever since that day, that's all that's been on my mind. That's all I think about when I wake up. I probably watch 5 fights every night before I go to bed. Um, yeah, I'm in love with the sport for sure.
Nice.
Nice.
What would you say your favorite discipline? Like, is it jujitsu, wrestling, or do you prefer the stand up between kickboxing or Muay
I mean,
Thai?
I do love the jiu-jitsu and wrestling, like, the technique, and I love it, but, I really just like to stand in there and put my hands up and get to fighting. Um, I love just throwing my hands. I'd say boxing is probably my favorite, but I
Yeah.
mean, I do enjoy all aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a certain someone, whether it was UFC, boxing, karate, even Was there a certain someone that you kind of watched that kind of gave you that fire, kind of pushed you towards this?
I wouldn't say when I first started training, like I kind of boxed growing up my whole life, not
Hmm.
seriously, but I wasn't watching fighting really before I started training. And then when I started training, I was looking up to, like Henry Cejudo was around me, so I was looking up to him a lot. And I really like the guys like Nate Diaz and Justin Gaethje. I'm a big Sean Strickland fan too.
Nice.
Um, the guys that just like are just about it and are ready to get in there at any moment and fight anybody. So those are definitely the people that give me the fire, then give me that inspiration just to get in there and put your hands up and get fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got guys too, like we had on our show last time, Bobby Moffett, because
Mhm.
was he your main cornerman, your coach for your first
Oh
fight?
yeah, yeah. No, I would say my coaches Bobby and Hunter have been the most helpful, and I look up to them the most in the gym for sure because they're taking their time every day to help me and help me get better. So I
Mhm.
respect them a lot. Yeah, they've helped out a ton, and I like both of them. It's a good dynamic. Um, Bobby's a little more loud, and he'll tell you how it is right away, and Hunter's a little more reserved. But at the end of the day, they're both super super good coaches. So no, I respect them and look up to them a bunch.
Yeah,
Nice to get that yin and the yang with them.
No, exactly. It's like good cop, bad cop.
yeah. You got one to slap you, one to console you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. But it's good to have that dynamic too because this
No,
is a
yeah.
game, you get pushed to your limits every time
No,
you step in that
100%.
ring.
Yeah,
So it's
Bobby, we see him strapping up his gloves and we're like, "Oh, shit." Like, in there, but, I also had a lot of help from, the flyweight, Bruno Silva. He's helped me out a bunch too. Rafael Montini, he's helped me out a bunch too. He's fought for Ruff a couple times.
Mhm.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, just a bunch of great people in the gym helping me out left and right, so
Nice.
Nice.
And so where do you see your like your near future in the sport of MMA or combat sports? Like if you could give like a breakdown of what your goals are for the next 5 years, what would you say it'd be?
I'll be 19 in a couple weeks here, and honestly, I'm just, I don't really have a set. Oh, I want to go pro by this age. Like, I think I could go at this rate. I could go pro by 21, no problem. And that's even
Mhm.
early too. So, no rush, but near future, like this year, man, I'll fight every month. I don't care. I'm ready. It's just a matter of finding the fights. Um,
Yeah.
if I can get 5 MMA fights the rest of this year, I'm ready for that. And honestly,
Mhm.
that's my goal. That's something I'm pushing towards as long as, I'm healthy. That's good. That's the biggest thing, just staying healthy and staying ready. But
Yeah.
if I'm ready every weekend, line them up.
Yeah, and that's
Hey.
just like what you were saying before. Like we were talking with you being only this age, you're young, you still want to protect your body, but you still also have that protection to where you're
Yep.
able to push yourself and really set the pace. So that
Mhm.
gives you the opportunity to get 5 fights in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, that's one thing that, we talk about a lot on the show is how over time, especially now, the line between a pro and an amateur is very thin now.
Mhm.
And it seems like as the years go on, it's becoming thinner and thinner. A lot of these guys out here, as amateurs, can hang with a
Oh yeah.
wide amount
Oh
of
yeah.
the pro guys we have on our circuit.
100%.
So, a question to you, looking at that and seeing that, does it give you any urgency to kind of make that leap knowing that you're fighting, pro caliber talent or
Mhm.
right up there with them, but still doing it as an amateur? Or are you kind of more of that old school effect where we've seen guys take on, 20, 30 amateur fights, 15 amateur fights till they can get that experience under their belt prior to them making that jump?
You know, I'm good with either way, honestly. I love being the underdog too, though. I
Mhm.
love being the youngest guy in there. I love, you know, blowing people's minds. So I don't mind being 20 years old and going pro if I'm ready. You know,
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not ready right now to go pro. So, but in a year and a half or 2 years from now, if I'm ready to go pro, I say let's do it. Um, I'd love to be another one of the young guys in the UFC, which I think that's more than possible too. But also, I want to fight a lot. So if I need 3 years as an amateur, I'm sure I'll get a ton of fights in those 3 years. So,
Definitely.
ideally, I want to go pro as soon as I can, and get really started as soon as possible. But if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So it's just kind of something that I'll have to see as time goes on. But at this rate, I'm be able to do anything I want. So
Right. No, I believe that too, man, because you're definitely putting in the work. If they can, we can get you back in there, like you said, 4 or 5 more times this year, and line those up consecutively with a year or two like that. Get 10 fights underneath your belt. We might be talking about a whole different thing next time around.
no, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see next time you fight, especially because coming out of fight ready, there's so much talent there. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a very interesting dynamic, especially going to this year. So I'm honestly even excited to see if you potentially push for an amateur title by the middle or even later half of this year. That'd be pretty cool.
100%. Let's do it. I mean, I'll be ready at any time. So they just got to bring me the fights, and I'll say yes every time. But, yeah, hopefully, Ruff's looking for an opponent for me for March 9th. Um, so, I like to say I'm fighting March 9th. Just put that good energy out there, and yeah. So I'll be in the cage March 9th. I'm confident of that, and put another guy away. So.
You know, is there anyone in the division, in our local circuit that you kind of see would be someone that you would like to fight and want to put your skills up against, that you obviously would be respecting that you know situation? Anybody
Yeah,
out there that you kind of see?
I obviously respect everybody that gets in the cage, but nobody, no specific names out there. I'm not really super familiar with everybody yet. Um, but I can tell you if anybody wants to fight me, let's get it done. I'm ready. So, um, but if I see a guy out there that I'm like, okay, this would be a good fight. I don't want just easy fights either. I want good
Right.
fights. I'm confident in myself. So, uh, if eventually I get notice of somebody that I'm like, all right, I want to fight this guy, it'd be a big fight, maybe a little backstory, whatever. I think that would be cool for sure. I mean, I definitely see myself calling people out and causing some trouble in the future. But I'm only one fight in, so I'm just playing along and seeing how it goes. So.
Hmm.
Well, I definitely look forward to that, because you did say Adesanya, you said Sean Strickland, you said all the names that speak. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to some of your mic work in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I got to be a little careful because sometimes I'm not as censored as I should be. So,
Hey,
see.
it's the fight game.
Right?
Yeah,
That
no,
adrenaline
exactly.
gets to pumping in the octagon, and that crowd gets to yelling. You never know what's gonna come.
Yeah, I'm loose cannon sometimes. You never know.
Hey, it
No,
sells fights. And I mean, especially now, we're about to enter a whole new era with the UFC. I mean, not even just UFC, just fighting in general. Bellator, we saw what just happened with that at the end of last year. And simultaneously, in the background, we also saw TKO. TKO ended up purchasing UFC and WWE. So, my question to you is, do you foresee a little bit more of the antics, so to speak, in the years to come?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and mainly just because the sport's getting so much more popular, so we're gonna have
Mhm.
so many more guys just trying to get in there and trying to make a name for themselves, and a lot of guys do that on the mic.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
yeah, and it's good. It's great for the fans too. They don't want to just go watch two people that didn't say anything to each other. They want to watch people that would fight on the street. If they saw
Right.
each other. So that's what makes it interesting. That's what sells fights. So that's what we
Mhm.
need in the sport. We need more of that.
It's
you know,
great to see someone give respect, but we don't want to see two people fighting and hugging afterwards like that, or hugging beforehand. We want you to hate each other
no,
slightly.
yeah, you you signed the contract to beat me up. Like I don't know how that's not disrespectful. So like
From that aspect, right? You just signed up for this ass whooping, so
yeah, like I signed the contract because I'm gonna go in there and try to knock you out, and you do the same for me. I think that's as disrespectful as it gets.
right.
It's like the handshake gonna come afterwards, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You getting paid for this shit? Oh, hold on.
That's funny. Wait, you got $50 more on your purse? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, it
No.
comes down to that. That's why you see sometimes, the Ian Gary's up there.
Yeah. You and Gary.
Uh,
Shit.
that's funny.
But that's a perfect example of a guy that night and day. I mean, Ian's a great fighter, but nobody knows him because of that. Most people know Ian because of Ian behind the mic.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just the fact of what he lets his wife do and stuff like that. I'd say that's more of what he's recognized for nowadays. I mean, I got no room to talk. I'm just sitting in. No, I think that stuff's all funny. I watching all Sean and him go back and forth was very entertaining.
It's hilarious.
Mhm.
And now if they
Hilarious.
fight in the future, they'll have way more people watching it. So it's
Oh
a
yeah.
win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
their press conference is gonna be hot. Their press conference is gonna be
exactly.
hot.
Oh, that's gonna be a horrible press conference. They just gonna be going at it.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely one I'll put. I'll pay $5 to see that pay-per-view airing of that press conference.
Yeah,
No,
and it
but
really shows too that it's such a great time for combat sports and MMA because like what we're talking about right now, with TKO buying the WWE and UFC, the antics may become more present because right now your success as a fighter, ability to negotiate pay, who you want to
Mhm.
fight, your sponsors, that comes based off of your social media, your
Yeah.
followers, how entertaining you are. So the
Mhm.
more entertaining you could be, and then back it up in the process, you're going to set yourself up for success.
Yeah, 100%. Social media is such a big tool these days. Like, yeah, I mean, I would rather not and just have to, I'd rather just worry about my fighting, not have to worry about social media, but it's more of a tool than it is anything. So you're kind of,
right,
pushed in the corner there.
Yeah.
right. It's definitely a helpful tool if used properly. So how was your first weight cut? Was it bad, or did you start off? Were you already kind of in fight shape in a sense, ready for it prior to them letting you know you were about to enter camp?
Honestly, like I couldn't even tell you. I was so ready to fight. I wasn't. I was so dehydrated. I didn't even notice. I was literally ready to go the whole time, sitting in the sauna. Like I was just so excited to fight that
It just didn't
it was
matter.
just the most motivation ever. Like the weight cut was so easy just because of how excited I was to fight. So I
That's
wasn't really
good.
even I wasn't even thinking about how much pain I'm in at the moment. I was just like, can't wait to get in there and bury my fist into his face. So
That honestly, that's the exact energy I got from you when I interview you during the weigh-ins. Like I could tell, like when I asked you about how the weight cut was, your response was pretty much the same. It's like it don't fucking matter. I just want to get in there, throw some
yeah,
hands. Like he ain't prepared for what I'm gonna do to
yeah.
him.
No, but I had to cut a couple extra pounds at the weigh-ins. I was like point 0.5 over or whatever, and I had to go run in the parking lot. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sucked. But
Oh yeah.
other than that, it was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I was just ready to fight, so I wasn't really paying attention. But I was
Yeah.
in very good shape, drinking my water, no sodium. Like I paid attention to that stuff a ton. So
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I mean, and especially, I mean, starting at the age that you're starting at, um, it'll be it should be a little bit easier for you to get your routine and kind of keep your body at a level weight, so it's not difficult for you to make
yeah,
those weight cuts when it's time.
yeah, no, 100%. Like I, where I'm sitting at right now, I barely even have to cut weight.
Nice.
I was a little heavier last time, and I usually am a little heavier, but I don't know. I feel great lately. I just haven't maybe been eating as much or something. I don't know. I'm sitting a little lower, but
What's your usual walk around weight?
on the heavier side, like 72,
72. Okay, yeah. So you
72.
don't really veer too far off.
No, and then I most of the time I'm 170, but like right now I'm like closer to 65. Just
Damn.
the holiday after or in the holidays I lost a little bit of weight, and then from then I've just stayed a couple pounds lighter, and I feel good, so I'm not trying to gain anymore.
Nice.
Shit, I gained 20 pounds from the holidays. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to get back out below 200.
No, I lose weight when I stop training. I know it's weird.
That's the metabolism, man. That's that
Yeah, no,
metabolism is still
exactly.
good, right? No, but it does go a long way. I mean, so digging into it, so I- who would you at this point describe your fighting style? Is there anybody that you can kind of like, okay, I resemble that, or that's kind of the what I was looking for?
Um, I couldn't tell you one person that I like a specific. Sometimes I go in there and I fight like Sean Strickland. Um, I'd say I kind of got like a Strickland, Gaethje, and Diaz kind of into one a little bit. But I mean, like I love to stand there and brawl, but I do it because it's fun. But
Hmm.
I try to stay technical and move and stuff like that because that's where I start winning my rounds and stuff. So I couldn't really tell you one guy. I don't look at one guy and be like, I want to be like that or I want to be
Of
like this.
course,
I'll look
of
at
course.
one guy and be like, oh, I like his jab, and then look at this guy and be like, oh, I left it like his left kick.
Hmm.
Um, but I definitely have more of a brawler mentality, but I'm trying to rewire that and stay technical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those three comparisons though, because they've all have very similarities with the fact that they're very unorthodox. The stand up on them, the hands, yeah. I mean Nate and Strickland, I can see that. I like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
all
and I
kind of fall into the same category in a sense.
yeah, exactly, and mentality wise too. I mean, I'm not really even that impressed with my performance at my first fight. I mean, I got in there and did what I should have done.
Hmm.
Um, but I wasn't too proud of how I did it. And I didn't really feel too nervous like the whole time, which was really surprising. I thought I was going to get nervous and as time went on, but I really didn't. But my nerves kind of came in more of the fact that was like, oh, I got in there and I kind of just got a little unfocused for a minute. Um, so yeah, no, I'm trying to go in there and just kind of stay calmer because I was just spamming that left kick a little too much, and
Hmm.
I guess that was just kind of the little bit of nervousness that I probably was coming out for my first fight. So
Yeah.
definitely gonna try to dial that all together for my next one for sure.
Yeah, and it's always good to be critical in a sense of that, where even with your wins, you're still gonna critique. Because like
Mhm.
a buddy of ours that we know, Moon Cosme, that's what he does. Even if he wins, his whole team they go back on their wins and they nitpick every single
Yeah.
thing. Because while yes, it may work in this fight, there could be another situation where you may do the same thing or show the same habit and it ends up backfiring and you lose. So even when you're winning, you want to be able to correct and fine tune those things so you don't let that
Mhm.
happen to begin with.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, studying yourself is a big thing. I film all my rounds and I watch them. I filmed one of my rounds today. I've probably already watched it 10 times. Just nitpicking little things, and uh, that's just that's what really separates yourself. Is just going over film and
Hmm.
doing that extra stuff. So
Yeah. How do you feel on your assessment of yourself from when you first started taping yourself and kind of studying, critiquing yourself to now, like in regards to your development since you've started?
oh, crazy difference. Like, and not nothing super huge to where I'm changing my fighting style or nothing like that, but just this bunch of small things that have just changed everything like tremendously. Like it's been it's been great just being able to look back and like I still to this day watch my rounds from when I first started because sometimes I'm still doing some of those same things and I'm like okay I need to break that habit or whatever and it's just all little stuff and that little 1% on every little thing makes a huge difference so
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this sport because of what you have to go through. And it's like with your training and when you study yourself, when you're training, you don't realize all the very small subtle details you miss, where it could be just a
Hmm.
fraction of an inch of your foot placement or how you rotate your shoulders. So when you start out, you're obviously going to see a lot of those be more prominent, but you give yourself the opportunity to fine tune those things. That's why it's really cool that you can look back now and you're not making as much of those small details
Mhm.
or small
Yeah.
errors.
100%.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it definitely goes a long way. I mean, you know, it's crazy too because that that might be after going through this. That might be the little bit of separation that we have between the pros and amateur level now. That might be the last piece that's left because other than that, I mean, the skill sets, a lot of these guys are getting really good really fast. And like yourself, at 18 years old, you're coming in here and just like you said, you don't want an easy fight. You're looking for guys that are very skilled and are going to push you to your limits so you can grow. And we're seeing a lot because of the way that the sport has evolved. We're seeing guys come in here at younger ages, more skilled at younger ages, and more serious about this long term at a much younger age as well, which goes a long way.
Yeah, it's cool to see the sport growing so much. Like, I mean, even me from me in 15 years from now in the UFC and everything, I'm gonna be started late compared to that new generation coming in. So it's crazy how these kids are probably gonna be starting fighting at 10 years old and whatever.
Yeah,
You're already seeing some of that.
yeah,
Yeah. Tell you one thing though, what I really love about this sport, and it's like the bittersweet part of it, is that, well, yes, you may be a step behind those guys who started when they're 6 years old. They've been competing ever since, but it's like if you're a person that you truly have that dedication, that passion, you put in that hard work,
Mhm,
and you're able to really hone your skills at that much of a level,
mhm,
that completely can outact the fact that
100%.
they started when they were
mm,
six. And that's why
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
such a beautiful sport.
yeah, yeah, and you can make that up in different areas too.
Hmm.
Like Sean O'Malley is a great example. He's not the best wrestler, but he's the best striker. So he uses striking to get away get away from the wrestling. And
right.
he's not out there trying to become the greatest wrestler. He's out there striking to get away from the wrestling. Uh, so there's definitely a lot of areas to make up in and what your style is. Like I might not be the best striker, I might not be the best wrestler, but I can put my chin down probably better than anybody else I know. So you got to
Yeah,
just use and work with your advantages.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find your strengths and bull knows with those, and hopefully good things come from it.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a lot of kids out here, that, and we we try to speak to them as much as we can. But there are a lot of kids out here that either struggled in situations, whether it's been bullied or other situations in school, or just need an outlet. And so we try to talk to kids and the youth in regards to this. But you being at a young age as well and entering this game, what would you say to young kids and maybe in the position or looking at being in your position in the future? What would you say to them right now? Um,
Well, I would definitely tell the average person that do jujitsu. Everybody, like it puts it puts you in such a good mindset, and it's good. It's really good for the body. You stay loose. Um, and the kids trying to come up and get to even where I'm at now. Just keep putting in that work. I see a lot of kids coming in and they'll get beat up or whatever, and you won't see them again. But I still to this day get beat up every single day in the gym. Um, I probably have lost 10 times the amount of rounds that I've won. I mean, even today, I don't know if you can really tell, but I got a black eye somewhere around here. And, I'm still getting beat up almost every day. Um, so it's just the consistency. That's all this sport is consistency and time. You don't want to rush
Hmm.
it either.
Yeah, absolutely. Because in this sport, you got to go through that sacrifice to get the fruits
Mhm.
of your labor, and especially
100%.
too when you're going through sparring and a training camp, your goal is to get the shit beat out of you every single time in training camp, so that way
Mhm.
you're prepared for that not to happen during the actual fight.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and yeah, I just started mixing in with the pros too, so now I'm really getting beat up every day and, just at a different pace, but, um, I come home some days too like, "Fuck," like, I need to step up, like, I suck. I mean, I have more days than not, I'm pissed off because I got beat up and, you just gotta remind yourself um, that, just be consistent, it'll pay off. One of the things I remind myself all the time is Sean O'Malley said, he came home crying from the gym every single day, just getting beat up for 10 years, and look where he is now. So, that right there is a pretty big inspiration, in my opinion.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it shows that journey, man. He's on the top right now, and a lot of people, a lot of people didn't follow Sean in the beginning. So talking about that journey, Sean went through a lot coming up. People talking about him not being able to take fights or not fighting good people or whatnot, what have you, and to see him in this position now, overcoming all that, it's great to see, in my opinion. So, but yeah, one other question I did have for you, later on down the road, of course, who would be your dream fight if you could pick one match? Who would it be?
I think Nate Diaz.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, that because I mean, that was my first favorite fighter ever and probably, like, my all-time favorite fighter is Nate Diaz, and I think me and him could sell some tickets in the future. There'd definitely be we'd definitely both be wearing each other's blood for sure on that one.
I like that. I like that. Now I do have to ask you, since Nate Diaz is probably your all-time favorite fighter, how did you feel about the crossover match?
Shit, if they paid me that much too, I'd probably do it. I mean, like,
Me too.
I mean, I don't really have
Do you think he got paid not to whoop his ass that bad? I felt like
I
he
think
got
Jake
paid to
Paul's
hold
got
back.
hands, to be honest. I think Jake has hands too, though. Like,
Jake
I
does
mean
have hands.
I mean, Nate's a sloppy striker, that's not gonna
Yeah,
work super well in the boxing realm, and he's just out of his
Mhm.
prime. Yeah, he's
yeah.
as tough as it gets, but I'm sure Jake's just a lot stronger too all around, like, size and strength and age and all that plays a big factor, not just experience, so
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, Jake is much bigger than Nate,
yeah.
hands down. He could have bullied him around the ring just off of that sheer size difference
Mhm.
alone.
No, exactly, but shit,
Yeah.
I'd do it too with that
Hell
bag.
yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's a different
Yeah.
type of bag.
Absolutely. And I think I may get already know the answer to this one too, but I'm gonna ask it as well. So for any fight, if you could have somebody in your corner or one of your cornermen, they could be alive, dead. They don't even have to be in this sport. They could be in a completely different sport. Or they don't even have to be in sports. If you could have somebody in your corner for one fight, who would that be?
If I could have one person in my corner,
We've gotten some crazy answers in this one.
oh, I'm going Donald Trump.
Let's go. I love that.
Hell yeah. I would just be walking out to the octagon with Trump playing, like, the national anthem or something, that'd be ideal.
Now, what do you think he's gonna give you as far as advice in the quarter? You're in
Oh,
between round one and two. You're up on the scorecard. Your opponent's face fading. What do you think he's gonna say
you don't even have to say anything, just his presence there, I'm unstoppable.
to you?
She's like, "You're
Me
doing good. You're doing very
Yeah,
good. You're
yeah,
killing it. Just break
yeah,
his arm, and we're out of here."
you're doing good, I promise. No, yeah, I mean, that's just an unbreakable force right there. Me and Donald Trump, we could take down probably, like, we could take down a pack of wolves if we needed to, so
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I love it. That's
Nice.
a good answer. I love that.
Yeah, it's always good to get some new answers out of that one. We get a lot of similar answers out of that question.
What's probably the craziest one you've heard?
Ooh, the craziest one? Man, that's a good question.
I know the most common one I think
is
we've got is
Muhammad
like
Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually the
That's a-
go-to.
Like, yeah, he's the GOAT, but that's just a lame answer.
Oh, what was it? It was one that we just interviewed towards the end of last year.
Yeah, he said who did he say? Did he say like an anime character?
I think so. Yeah, he straight up right. We had somebody say an anime character. Wait, was it from Dragon Ball Z?
It was Goku, wasn't it?
I think so. I think somebody actually used Goku.
I'm not familiar with that stuff, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it was we get Muhammad Ali. We get we gotten Tyson quite a few times.
Yeah.
We'll get family members as well.
Family members, and then a lot of people say their current coach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think Muhammad Ali and the Jace, you're funny. Muhammad Ali and the current coach is probably our most frequently used answer there.
No hate on Bobby and Hunter, but shit, if I can have Donald Trump in there.
You just see Donald Trump nudge Bobby like, "Hey, howl for me."
Yeah. you would understand too. They'd be like, "All right."
He's like, "I understand the assignment. You got it."
Yeah.
Well, no, I definitely agree that one's a funny one. I like that answer. But man, hopefully we get to find out here in the next week or so. We get confirmation, not find out. We get confirmation within the next week or so about March 9th. Yeah, I'm excited for you because it was March of last year, wasn't it?
No, it was October, right?
Is it October?
Yeah, my fight was October.
Who am I mixing it up with then?
I don't know.
March was Muay Thai for Ruff. I don't know why I went back that far.
We're gonna fast forward a little bit. It was October, James. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it was like October 25th. That's when you made your debut against Alex Gardner.
Yeah, 28th, something like that. Shit.
That's right. Yeah.
It was the weekend of Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember though. But yeah, man, no. No, you got a bright future ahead of you, especially being here at 18. You know, fighting at Fight Ready with a lot of talent around there. I mean, that goes a long way too. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited, especially for this year. Especially if you're planning on being as busy as you say. I can't wait for it.
Yep. No, I appreciate that.
So we're gonna have to get some more interviews into, especially 100%. If you get to fight for a title. That's gonna be a really good moment where you're
100%
post-fight interview.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be 4-0, 5-0 by the end of the year. That's the goal. So
hey, let's go.
For sure, man. Well, before we get out of here, Jace, anything you want to say? Anybody? Any shout outs? Anything you want to leave us with?
Nothing specifically. Just always have big thanks and respect to my coaches, Bobby and Hunter, and just everybody in the gym helping me out. There's probably 15 guys, 20 guys I could go up to on a daily basis and ask them anything. My training partners, see one of them, Julius, is on the card for next month. He's the one who gave me this black eye too today, so I'm gonna get him back for that. But shout out to my training partners and Fight Ready and my coaches and just everyone that's helped me. I have a lot of respect for all of them. So
that's awesome, man. And that's what we have. It's nothing but a privilege to get to meet you guys, talk to you, especially for you to start your fighting career and for us to be a part of it. Like, it's very humbling and very grateful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on too and giving me some sort of platform to just talk. It's always good. Any publicity is good publicity. So
exactly.
Yeah, don't forget us now. That first title shot.
No, I won't. I won't.
You in the UFC, you grab that mic. You remember.
You passed it to Trump, and then you passed it to us. Now.
Yeah, maybe when Trump's walking me out, they'll replay this interview.
Yeah, right. There we go.
I'm with it. Well, man, it was great having you on. I really appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we'll see you in March.
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We appreciate you, man. You take care.
You
Yes,
too.
sir.
All
See
right,
you
peace,
soon.
man. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. You know, it's always good to get a younger guy on here, a younger fighter. You know, we always talk about that line. We always talk about that line,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of them. He's one of those guys that are pushing that line and thinning it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, too, when he brought up Justin Gaethje, that clicked in my head. 'Cause I was like, "Yep, I could see it." It not even just the fact that with what little time we've seen him fight, since I think his fight was only like a minute and a half, but it was this. It was also the straight up fact that it was like his energy, like he gave me like the same energy as Justin Gaethje. Like he just wants to stand there, and throw hands.
Yeah, and you know it goes a long way, especially right now. You know, being at this age, you know, you have that energy, you
Mm-hmm.
have that extra oomph you can throw in there. And we were talking about the experience difference of having an older guy, you know, in that ring and having that experience, and that's the other side of it. You know, that youth side where you have that extra energy, the
Mm-hmm.
mobility, and things like that too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Man, it's gonna be crazy, especially this first half of 2024 with everything that's going on. Because we got Ruff coming back in the scene with Jace Jones trying to hop back on it. We got PFA coming up. Then there's SA Alliance. Like it's crazy. And then too, bro, like got Sean O'Malley that's gonna be fighting his first title defense against Chito Vera. Got Cejudo coming in against Marab. Like, bro, there's just so much going on this year.
Yeah, it really is. The what was I gonna? Okay, so PFL, they announced, you know, you got the takeover of Bellator.
Hmm.
So essentially, there are two sets of champions right now,
Yes.
and that is something that obviously we can't have, right?
Right. Hey, did you see their new card announcement?
Yeah, I'm about to read it off to us right now.
Let's go.
So we got Renan Ferreira versus Ryan Bader. So Renan is the PFL World Champion, and Bader is currently the Bellator Champion. So there goes the heavyweight bout. We have a middleweight championship bout against Impa Kasanage versus Johnny Eblin. Impa is the PFL champion. Obviously, Johnny has been whooping ass at Bellator for quite some time, so he still
Hmm.
holds on to that middleweight championship. This is another division right here that you know there's this champion has been doing his thing for quite some time. The featherweight championship. We got Jesus Pinito facing Patricio Pitbull. Um,
Nice.
that's gonna be another one, man. I'm excited to see Patricio. He's gonna rule that division for some time moving forward. We have the 182-pound contract weight champion, Ray Cooper is the PFL champion versus Jason Jackson. So that's going to be another one that's really, really good. Jason, obviously, really good over at Bellator, so he's kept that thing up for quite some time. This is another division that I'm kind of excited to see this one. We got Tiago Santos versus Yoel
Oh,
Romero. This is going to be nice. Uh,
dude, I'm so excited for that one.
Light heavyweight bout. I mean, it's going down, man. Tiago and Yoel. We were just watching the old Yoel fight last night versus Paul Acosta,
That's right. That's right.
and that's a big dude, man.
I can't believe he's 46 years old, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's been at it for a while. He's been at it for a while, and that's a big ass dude. We got Bruno versus Vadim. That's another heavyweight showcase bout. This is going to be for the number one contender spot
Hmm.
for the heavyweight. So Bruno is fighting Vadim. And then there's some other cards, some other guys on the undercard that I'm actually looking to see as well. Ali's grandson, Biagio Ali.
That's right. I forgot
Um,
about that.
yeah, he's fighting Emmanuel Palacio, and for those out there that do stay true to your AZ fight scene, Isaiah Figueroa recently fought at PFL against Ali's grandson.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you know, hey man, we talk about it a lot, but the Arizona fight scene is strong, as strong as it's ever been. And just in the month of January, we saw 4 or 5 Arizona fighters in the UFC
Hmm.
in the month of January. I want to say it's 5, and I
I mean,
think
yeah.
we went undefeated.
For
Yeah,
this year with Arizona fighters.
yeah. So far, the month of January and last month, we went
Uh,
undefeated. Marcus won, Mario won. I think Anthony won. Um,
who was the Arizona fighter that just fought this weekend against that? You remember
An-
the
His
dude
name
that
Anthony or something like that.
maybe it was the dude that he fought against the dude that Dwayne Johnson bought a house for. You know what I'm talking about? And
I sure do.
yeah, he ended up losing. So I don't know if that was for January or February, but I know that was an Arizona fighter that lost,
I think he was
unfortunately.
February. Well, let me go to that event.
I know it was just this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the third. Okay, so yeah, we went undefeated January. Let's go.
Who was it?
We have to try to pull it
It
up now.
wasn't Gilbert. Oh, it was Pete Rodriguez.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Thimba beat him.
Yeah, that sucks, but I mean, hey, it's part of the game.
It was February 3rd, so we were still undefeated the month of January. God dang it!
There we
So
go.
we're like 5-1 so far this year. I mean, starting off the year right, 5-1. I'll
Hmm.
take it.
Hmm. Doing better than the Cardinals record.
Hey man, listen, this is not like kill the Cardinals hour, all right? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about some Arizona sports? You talk about our hot team. You talk about the Suns, all right? Let's talk about the Suns, all right? Who play Milwaukee Bucks tonight?
How'd
No,
that go?
we starting and we just starting yet. It just started. We're down by 4. No, it's not just started. We're in the second quarter, but we're down by 4. I believe there's no Giannis, and there's no Giannis is playing. So there's no Damian Lillard tonight. Giannis has 14 and 7, and then Devin Booker's starting the night off right. He has 13 points off of 9 shots. I can deal with it. Can deal with it, man. I'm excited though. January, we got that first month underneath our books. Got that behind us for the year, and we are now ready for PFA. Like I said, we're about 2 weeks away. The 16th.
Hmm. Yeah, or no, it's on. It'll be the 24th, so we got 18 days.
Oh, it's 24th. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be a nice card. We're looking at squaring off around 18 to 20 fights. Um, should, PFA got a nice uh, circuit, man. There's a lot
Hmm.
of talent that's coming in through there right now.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's why I'm especially excited once they start MMA because you know it's gonna be a wrap from there.
Right, right. So can't wait to see what else comes over the next couple of months with PFA as well. Seeing some of our champions back in the ring, Isaac McCary, True. We got, I think, Joe and Stanley.
That's right. Joe Stanley and Amadou Sai may be fighting for a title on this PFA.
I'm
Well,
excited to see Abadosai back in the ring too. I mean,
yeah,
the ring. I mean, his performance was it PFA 1 or 2? Was it
it
PFA
was.
1?
Yes, it was PFA 1 when he fought Jose Sanchez.
Yeah, his performance, and And Jose Sanchez is no slouch whatsoever.
He's a
Um,
dog, bro. He got his jaw broken. I think it was the second round, and he was still fighting through it.
Bro, yeah, Jose Sanchez, no, dude, he gets it in. And, you know, Abdou Sai had a wonderful performance that night. Walked home with the belt, much deserved for his performance. We haven't seen him in quite some time since then. Was that in August? So I'm excited. I'm excited if that goes down. And as I've always said, Josh, Joe and Stanley is one of my favorites. One of my favorites in the circuit. I love watching that guy put on a performance, win, lose, or draw. He's always fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a banger. I'm gonna be really excited to see the dynamic of that fight because you got Amado Sai, who's that current champion of his division. He's gonna have a bit of a height and a reach advantage. So I know Joe and Stanley, he's gonna have to be especially tricky and clever with how he's gonna be able to close that and then just let those hands rip. So I know when he gets in the pocket and he starts throwing, he lands hard.
He lands hard and he lands often.
Mm-hmm.
But the same dynamic, like you kind of said there, with him having that length, and he's a lengthy fighter as it is.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to keep his distance. He likes to throw those kicks. He fins you off with those jabs, and kind of sets you up with the feints. And having that long, those lengthy limbs, things come out of places you can't see sometimes. So I'm actually excited for this one. Really excited for this one. But like you said, Joe is a pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna rush him, and like you said, once he gets inside, he's gonna land hard and he's gonna land often.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be excited for once we start revealing the rest of the fights that's gonna be on the card.
Right, right. We got some nice ones under the sleeve too. Couple of new gyms too.
New gyms, you said?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of new gyms from what I've heard coming from out of state. So I'm excited about that as well.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go. That's gonna be exciting.
hmm Setting up for some more title defenses coming up. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We may see some double champs here soon too.
Anybody you got in mind?
I know there were some rumors with True Sim, but we gotta see. I would love to see there already be somebody that challenges to be a double champ. That will be fucking dope.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Isaac McCary though. He did just lose about I think this last weekend, the weekend past, but
Yeah, it was tournament in Mexico.
you're right, right. But every time I turn around, that boy's working, man.
Yep.
So hats off to him. He stays in a ring somewhere. He
hmm
stays in a ring somewhere. So hats off to him. Can't wait to see him back as well.
hmm Right now,
Uh,
he's not only is he the first super lightweight champion for PFA, but he's also the first one to have a title defense and also to win it. So that's also pretty dope. He's the longest active winning super lightweight champion.
chiseling off, you know, chiseling off things in that history book. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Yeah, we were just followed up with Johnny the other day to see how his trip is going, and he was telling me about Isaac. So
nice.
he's out there. He's been coaching for Team USA. So, man, I'm telling you, man, this fighting community is growing.
Mm.
It's growing. So, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, as always, just peace, love, chicken grease. It's awesome the fact that we're now into season 3 and we're doing all we're doing, and it's just it's exciting to see what we're gonna be heading into for 2024 and all the opportunities that's gonna open up.
Yeah, I agree. I can't wait to unveil this studio soon. That's one thing we're gonna be doing.
hmm
You're gonna have a nice little background and set all that stuff up. So that's one thing we're gonna be changing. But yeah, I'm just ready to work this year. I feel like skipping January really I feel like I've been on a Christmas break or Thanksgiving break since Thanksgiving. We
For
need to
real.
yeah, man, we need to turn it up. It's time to get back turned. you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Get
sir.
back out there and get some work in, because I'm tired of sitting in my butt and sitting at home, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Gotta get that hustle going.
Hustle for the flow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Just don't whoop that trick. No.
Unless it's an octagon. But yeah, man. Vice versa. Like I said, I'm just happy to get started. I feel like the year is barely starting for us. We took a long break, so
Mm-hmm.
episode 3 in the books. We had a couple snags. You know, we'll get those rescheduled. I got a lot of people to reach out to get on the books for this year, and you know, there's some people we're overlooking out there, and you guys know about them, and we don't, or we're overlooking them for some odd reason. Let us know, because we want to know about your story. You know, we're here for the fighters. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, man. 100%.
yeah, but before we get out of here, Josh, you know,
Yeah, check this out, man. It's your boy Young Dro. I'm in the building with A-South Sports, man. If you ain't here, you ain't nowhere, man. As soon as possible, get here. You dig?
All right, people. Well, apologies for the lame outro, but hey, we're about to dip out like nacho cheese. So thank you guys again for coming on. We're excited for this year. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hey, see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All sports, all plays, ball courts, pump fakes, crossovers, and some more. All sports, all plays, ballparks, home base, miss that speed by, that's 3 strikes. We know what's happening in the league. All sports, all plays, ASAP. Cause we know what's going down with your team. We'll bring you up to speed ASAP. Not talking about Rihanna's baby daddy, it's the network. Cover